Check, check.
Me have 48 seconds. Let me tell you this. People, let me sit down. From the bottom of my heart, let me tell you. Me rate the whole of you. My laptop dropped a while ago. I have no idea if it's going to turn back on. But here what now? None of them pussy they no bad like me. So here what me I gonna do? Me make somebody put on a rhythm, me a DJ and this blood clot if my laptop not turn on. Yo, all we are going. Hold on there. Watch this. Watch this. All who know say me blood clot win already. Say win. Suck on no blood clot, mama.
Wanna say what King Shine?
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, man, the east side I represent for Jimmy Spliff TV. London is blue, blue, blue.
Jimmy Spliff.
Oh, song.
Yo, Jimmy Spliff TV, revving up the scene from Jersey to the bridge, living out the dream. Big blues in the mix, yeah, we repping in the club, no estrogen vibes, just passion and love from Daddy Rum and shout to that clear leg gang. Yeah, W6 hit up and go bang every match, stay straight. We all on the grind, got that Chelsea fire running through our mind, chasing trophies. You know we don't stop through thick and through. Boy, trying to the top in the stand, anthem loud united. We band big up to the players, give it all they can from the pitch to the street. It's survive, we raw, supporting our team. Nothing's giving us some more. So here's to the blues, the ones who done the gig. Jimmy Spliff TV, this real, never quit.
Yo, shout out to Jimmy Spliff TV. From Jersey streets to the bridge you see. Chelsea's the team, never do we freeze. And SW6 living wild and free. American dreams with a London flow. No estrogen vibes, just that Britain flow. Passion for the blues, we ride the tide. From the stand to the screen, Chelsea pride. Ain't no stopping when the whistle blows. Chasing glory wherever it goes. With a South London accent, we let them know. Jimmy Spliff's the name, set the vibe, let's roll.
He's one of our own, that's the chant we shout. No space for doubt, Chelsea's what it's all about. And we're here to stay, in the stands we roll tight. Fuck Pochettino, it's our season to ignite.
Yeah, man, the east side I represent for Jimmy Spliff TV. London is blue, blue, blue.
Jimmy Spliff.
Oh, song.
Yo, Jimmy Split TV, revving up the scene from Jersey to the bridge, living out the dream. Big blues in the mix, yeah, we repping in the club. No estrogen vibes, just passion and love from Daddy Rum and shout to that clear leg gang. Yeah, W6 hit up and go bang every match, stay straight. We all on the grind, got that Chelsea fire running through our mind, chasing trophies. You know we don't stop through thick and through. Boy, you find to the top in the stand, anthem loud united. We stand big up to the players, give it all they can from the pitch to the street. Can survive, we raw, supporting our team. Nothing's giving us some more. So here's to the blues, the ones who's on the get. Jimmy Split TV, this real, never quit.
Yo, shout out to Jimmy Split TV. From Jersey streets to the bridge, you see. Chelsea's the team, never do we freeze. And SW6 living wild and free. American dreams with a London flow. No estrogen vibes, just that grit and flow. Passion for the blues, we ride the tide from the stands to the screen. Chelsea pride, ain't no stopping when the whistle blows. Chasing glory wherever it goes. With a South London accent, we let them know. Jimmy Spliff's the name, set the vibe, let's roll.
He's one of our own, that's the chant we shout. No space for doubts, Chelsea's what it's all about. And we're here to stay, in the stands we roll tight. Fuck Pochettino, it's our season to ignite.
Yeah, man, the east side I represent for Jimmy Spliff TV. London is blue.
Jimmy Split.
Oh, song.
Yo, Jimmy Split TV, revving up the scene from Jersey to the bridge, living out the dream. Big blues in the mix, yeah, we repping in the club. No estrogen vibes, just passion and love from Daddy Rum and shout to that clear leg gang. Yeah, W6 hit up and go bang every match, stay straight. We all on the grind, got that Chelsea fire running through our mind, chasing trophies. You know we don't stop through thick and through. Boy, you find to the top in the stand, anthem loud united. We stand big up to the players, give it all they can from the pitch to the street. Can survive, we raw, supporting our team. Nothing's giving us some more. So here's to the blues, the ones who's on the get. Jimmy Split TV, this real, never quit.
Yo, shout out to Jimmy Split TV. From Jersey streets to the bridge, you see. Chelsea's the team, never do we freeze. And SW6 living wild and free. American dreams with a London flow. No estrogen vibes, just that grit and flow. Passion for the blues, we ride the tide from the stands to the screen. Chelsea pride, ain't no stopping when the whistle blows. Chasing glory wherever it goes. With a South London accent, we let them know. Jimmy Spliff's the name, set the vibe, let's roll.
He's one of
our own.
That's
That's what we shout.
No space,
No
for
space,
doubt.
no doubt.
Chelsea's what it's
Chelsea's
all
what it's all
about.
about.
And we're here
And
to
I'm here to
stay
stay
in the standing roll tight. Fuck Pochettino, it's our season to ignite.
Less of that. Less of that. Less of that.
Brilliant!
Real yo. Yeah, 27 people, 27 likes. What's going on? Yeah, exactly, James Bond. You know what I'm saying? James Bond, what you say? Skilly Bang. Skilly Bang are the least, bro. Skilly Bang is the least, bro. Skilly Bang is the least. Skilly Bang is the weakest artist I have on, bro. Any artist you name, I could play on dub right now. James Bond. Any one of them. Any artist you name right now, I play on dub right now. Name one. And don't be stupid and say Bob Marley. Then I'm going to kick you out. Name one. Just name who your favorite artist is right now.
Yeah, it was definitely Nike Tech weather this morning. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Hey, I woke up, took my daughter to the bus stop. Like, nah, we taking it today with the Jordan Fizzies. You know what I mean? I went metallic 5s on them today. Something light. You know what I'm saying? Black laces. You know they come with the white laces. I swapped out black laces. I'm going to swap the white laces in probably like next summer or something. Yeah, it's gone, bro. It's gone. Summer's gone, bro. Hey, I'm here for it. I'm here for the net. Hey, why do you think I created this session? There's a few things I saw in the last few hours because I was like, yo, I was even talking to somebody, and I'm like, yo, I need to go live. It's not nothing to talk about, but I ain't talked to my community in a minute. Like, just you know what I mean? It's been a minute. International breaks is whack. I heard they shorten it. They shorten it to 3 now. I don't know how they doing that. So what they gonna do? How they combining? What they gonna do? Play more games in that window? I don't. The international break. What they gonna do? How are they condensing it? I'm very interested in to see how they're condensing it. Poland cooking under the new mat. Yeah, I seen Lewandowski celebrating his celebration up against the 1-1 the Netherlands, 3-1 to Finland. Is the new coach Polish? Okay, to get the games played in 2 weeks of September. So the international break will be 2 weeks. Instead of 1 week off, you'll be off for 2. You drove to the Netherlands? Damn. How long of a drive was that? His first game in charge? Oh, so they'll get it all done in September. 2 weeks break. Yeah, at least they get it out the way, I guess. Yeah. And then the games can just run. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I actually saw something that I thought would be good to watch live with you guys for the first time. When I saw the title of it, I was like, you know what? Let me watch it live with my peoples. We ain't got no transfer news. We ain't had no games. So we got a little bit more time than normal. You know what I'm saying? So I said, fuck it. Let's watch it. And anything else that you guys might have seen during the break that I haven't. You know what I mean? But I already got the video that I was looking for. I got it lined up already. I was just waiting for more people to roll in. Y'all know how my peoples are late. I don't know if all of y'all are black. Most of y'all are black, but y'all be moving on black people time because y'all motherfuckers be late as hell rolling in. I go live and it take like a good 20, 25 minutes before 100 motherfuckers get in here. Let's see if we can get it up to 100 people in here. In the meantime, smash the likes. Big up all my mods and shit. Big up everybody that's been super chatting. Big and serious. Like, I seen an AdSense check the other day dropping the thing. It surprised me. You know what I mean? So big up everybody that's super chatted. And it ain't no money to flaunt about, but it's something I could take and put back into this. You know what I mean? It's enough money to put back into this. Not a lot of money to put in. It's nothing I can put in my pocket, but I can put it back into this. So we're gonna start seeing some little upgrades on some. You know what I mean? You're gonna start seeing some upgrades on things because it don't make no sense. You guys donating, sending me bread, and then I don't take the bread and like I'm spending back right here. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna spend it back right here. Get this shit back, get it up to quality that y'all can respect more. I'm not gonna let y'all know, right? I'm not gonna go overboard. I ain't going out getting the fucking $1,000 camera so I can look like I'm in. Nah, this is what y'all getting. This is what y'all getting right here. I ain't getting the whole production. I ain't reached to the levels where this is my only income. Yeah, fire up the hoop. Yo, Tua stunk. Yeah, we could talk a little NFL for 5 minutes. As long as y'all don't mention the Giants, we good. The minute y'all mention the Giants, then we're going to talk about European football. Yeah, Sugo, we're going to talk about that. I seen that. And then even Caicedo. They even trying to play Caicedo. I'm like, yo, don't play Caicedo. Like, Chelsea, call him back, man. Call him back. They already qualified. There's no reason for Caicedo to play. You motherfuckers are qualified, bro. Do not play my guy. Listen. Flores lost his job. Black man lost his coaching job because Tua went on the shit and bashed him about, oh, he talked nasty to me and mean to me. And then they fired the coach, left with his bum ass, paid him, and now look at him. Daniel Jones is ass. Don't get gas, nigga. Daniel Jones had games like that for us. I don't give a fuck what Daniel Jones leave and do. He was never, ever going to be good enough to be quarterback in New York. Get him the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck if he throw 1,000 touchdowns with no interceptions. I don't care. He was never going to make it here. And I'm not worried about him being good. I know what the fuck Daniel Jones is. He's a bum. They hired another black coach. That's what she said. They had another black coach, huh? Let's see. Let's take a look at the black coach. Let's look at Mike McDaniel, shall we? Black coach, you say? I have a hard time believing that. That's what they try to tell me. They tell me he's a black coach. That's what they tell me. I don't be knowing. I ain't the smartest man in the world, but that ain't a black man, brother. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I've had this discussion millions of times. That is not a black man. Hold up. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? No thanks. What the fuck kind of pop-up is that? The fuck? Look at that. Look at that. That's a black man? I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. Now we gotta do our research. Right? Mike McDaniel. Parents. Oh, white mother, black father. Okay. Mike McDaniel's dad. Always heard he was mixed race, but didn't believe it. Yeah, I still can't find no pictures of his dad. Oh, this is his dad? No, that's not his dad. Yeah, he black like Kamala Harris is black, my nigga. Fall back. This nigga ain't black, bro. I never bought into the Mike McDaniel black hype. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Now I finally researched it. It makes it even worse. I definitely don't see it. I definitely don't see it. All right. It's 58 people in here. We don't need to wait no much longer. Pick up everybody in here, man. Hold up. I ain't even got my settings set for the stream. Let me go and set my settings. Hold up, people. Set that. Give me 2 seconds, people. 2 seconds. I just gotta get the sitting up so I can see how much. I have 30 likes. That's it. Come on, bro. 30 likes, bro. You niggas don't like me, bro. You niggas do not like me if all I got is 30 likes. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Can I get some more likes, please? I got a rate. Oh, no, I ain't getting no raid. I thought I got a raid. I don't ever get raids. Niggas don't be raiding me, bro. Yo, big up Sarcasm City TV links, a.k.a. my nigga Prime Diggity. Prime, I need those clips, Prime. Remember what I asked you about? I just remembered. Yeah. I don't be getting raids, though. Like, during I never get raids. I be sending raids all over the place. Niggas don't be sending me raids. Niggas be seeing me live. Niggas don't want to show me no love. Nah, I get raids every now and then. I'm just talking shit. All right, let's see what we got here. The name of this video was Garnacho will prove everyone wrong at Chelsea. Now, the reason why I thought it would be interesting is because this is a stern stance. You see, if there was like, oh, here's the reasons why Garnacho might be well. Here's the reasons I think Garnacho might do well. No, this person said, here's the reason why he's going to prove everybody wrong. Now, here's the problem when you make a statement like prove everybody wrong. Because you got people who saying he's going to do good. Are you proving them wrong too? Because he said everybody. He should have said that all the naysayers wrong. Not everybody. How the fuck you proving everybody wrong? Even the ones that said he's going to do good? But I digress. You said this is Rob's secret channel? Yeah, Rob would probably be creaming in his little briefs if he watched this. Y'all ready to watch it now? We got 60 people in here. Get that like button up before we start watching this shit. Let me see. 34 likes? That ain't enough. That ain't enough, bro. Get us to at least 80% of the people in here. Get us to 40 likes. There's 56 people in here. Get us to 40 odd likes. Big up everybody that's bouncing in like a bounce about. What you mean? I know what he means by everybody. No, you're assuming you know. That's the problem with too many people in this world. Y'all assume. You assume. He said prove everybody wrong. Come on, you know what he mean. No, the fuck I don't. Now, I might press play on the video and the video explain what he mean. But reading by the title, I don't know what he mean. And I was always told to never judge a book by its cover. You got to read what's in between it. So this says Garnacho will prove everyone wrong. So I don't know what it's about. We're going to click play on it. But trust me, take it from me. Take it from an older gentleman. Don't never assume. Never assume, bro.
So can Alejandro Garnacho prove the doubters wrong and be a great signing for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? As we have throughout the course of this summer, we've been doing podcast specials on Chelsea's newest recruits, looking at their career so far and getting expert analysis from people who have watched them outside of Stamford Bridge before the transfer happened. And today, with Garnacho, I thought it appropriate to speak to none other than Scott Saunders, who is the host of the Promised Land podcast about Manchester United. I know him from the 90 Min days. I'm sure a lot of you will recognize him from the 90 Min days. We actually had him.
Is it lagging? I don't know. Maybe. Hold up.
Or back down.
It might be. Hold on. Let me see if my connection to... Well, yeah, my connection to StreamYard is not all that good. It's not all that good right now. I don't know why, because my connection to my computer is fine. My computer's connection to Wi-Fi is good. So why is my connection to StreamYard not good? You see, I don't be having time for all this bullshit. The audio is fine, but the video is lagging. It's the video that's lagging. Nah, I don't have Ethernet. I gotta use Wi-Fi. I have no connection here. You can hear it? Yeah, because it's not like they're showing video. I'll make it smaller if I have to. Yeah, it's not like they're showing video. Matter of fact, hold up. You know what? I'll do it like this. Yeah. It's not like the video, it's the audio that count. I want to hear this dude tell us why everybody's gonna be wrong. You know? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm tired of StreamYard. Like right now, StreamYard is really sitting here struggling. Now that y'all said something, I'm looking at it. Like StreamYard is struggling with my connection. Like, what's going on? Neither here nor there. Let's listen to what they're talking about. Why is Garnacho gonna prove me wrong, Mr. Dude?
Time to come back on the podcast. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right, man. Busy week or so. I'm just explaining to you now before we started recording, moving house on the day that you come back from a holiday break, and you can kind of like take a step back with football, can't you? And periods are where people end up losing their minds trying to debate about stuff that really doesn't matter. So I'd like to take a step back, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's not too long till I see Hazard, Salah. Did you ever think there'd be a time when you maybe enjoyed watching your nation more than your football club? Because I'm sure at one point,
yeah.
I guess it kind of feeds into the Garnacho conversation that we're going to have, because you know it's one of the interesting things about this move for me that is kind of the defining part of whether Garnacho works or not. Is what happens, like how powerful is that United culture on a player, and when you take that player out of that culture, are the bad things they've done before eradicated, or is it something that drags on to the next club? And I guess that's the big question, because
my nigga,
Onana
get to the gravy,
is off,
bro.
isn't he? I saw.
Yeah, check that box, man.
Man United, it's sign that that's going to change quickly.
I think it is. There's no ruthlessness out of United, because we've had for so long many players just hang around on contracts. I remember back in the day when
talk about Garnacho,
charge now. I'm not naive to think that this can all be done instantly. The lack of tolerance for underperformance, I suppose, I'm starting to see is coming in, which has been needed for a long time.
United can't have a quiet season.
Yo, I thought this was about Garnacho.
You know, we make a lot of story about these number 10s. Why have United signed two?
This was clickbait. This was clickbait. Look how far in this nigga ain't saying nothing about this nigga yet. This is clickbait. I'm thinking I'm about to hear about Garnacho. This nigga talk about Man U. I don't give a fuck about Man U, bro.
Especially more as kind of a natural wide player.
And Garnacho, I think, needed to move as well.
Okay.
I think United need to move ground. We're going in way and can act a certain way. They're definitely a technical.
It seems to me, listening to your podcast, even as far back as post Europa League final, that you wanted him gone. Or at least there was kind of an acceptance that this needs to end. Tired of his antics. Is that a fair assessment of the Man United mood around Garnacho?
I think so. Before I get into that, though, I think the main thing for me, and I spotted this as early back as when Amorim was appointed, I didn't think there was a spot in the team for him just based on the roles in the team. We make a lot of story about these number 10s. Why have United signed Mbeumo and Cunha in the same window when they got Bruno Fernandes? Well, I think there's a technical aspect to. I'll take Cunha as an example. A technical aspect to him, the way he carries the ball, the strength that he carries it with, the fact that he does occupy like inside spaces. Garnacho is a different player to that, and he was tried in those roles. I did think for a while, could he be a wing back or whatever, but that's not a natural fit for him either. I thought early on that it would be a bit of a problem, given United there's been lots of noise around PSR and cash positions and this kind of thing, and he just ticks those boxes. I'll get this other way as well. There's a player in there. There definitely is.
That's what we want to hear about, the player.
It's been a problem, really. I think the fact that he's kind of ascended to first team level, and I think Erik ten Hag used him consistently in his first or second season when he was in the United first team, played so many matches in a row, and that gives him this kind of idea that he is a regular first team player at a big club like.
Okay, so he said Erik ten Hag played a role into Garnacho's head swell up. Pause. Yeah, that's what he's basically saying. He's saying that he played a role in Garnacho, getting a swell head.
Manchester United, therefore, he should be treated in a certain way and can act a certain way. And it's not really a good position for somebody as young as he is to be in for the good of his career. You need grounding and that kind of thing. I saw a video the other day of when Cristiano Ronaldo was in the United first team in about 2005 or something like that, and he tried to chip. I can't remember who it was against, but he tried to chip a finish in, and he went over the bar, and Roy Keane started berating him. And he was early 20s at the time. And that was he scored after that, and he kind of had a bit of a mood on him. But that's the grounding that United players now who are growing into that team don't have, because they don't have professionals like that, or whatever you want to say about Roy Keane. I don't know. But they did play a crucial role in that dressing room of grounding players and making sure that they got the best out of themselves. Garnacho's never had that, really. And I haven't liked the attitude that he's shown, but I think you can blame the club for that. You absolutely can. And I think the way that it's gone, this was just the best way to go about it for everybody. I think United needed the money, they needed a culture correction, they needed, to quote wrestling, an attitude adjustment or whatever. And Garnacho, I think, needed the move as well because of the system. And it just wasn't ever the way I really envisioned it happening. But from the start, when he broke into the first team, I wanted him to be at the club for 10, 15 years or whatever, but it's not worked out that way. It's the right move for everyone, I think.
In terms of Garnacho at his best, you're talking about him, especially more as kind of a natural wide player. And even against Chelsea, he's had some of his better performances, I think, in the Man United, or at least has done positive things against Chelsea. Everyone will think back to that insane goal he scored at Goodison Park, some other moments from his Man United career. When you think of Garnacho at his best in terms of a performance, in terms of his positioning, in terms of what he contributes, how would you describe that?
So Garnacho is really good at just having the ball. I think one backhanded compliment that was used about him was he kind of has a memory of a fish. He doesn't really remember the last thing that happened. If he was dispossessed or whatever, he would get the ball back and he'd be willing to dribble. He'd be willing to.
This is what they always say about him. That confidence is cool when you're actually good at what you're doing. He'll dribble and lose the ball and just go get it and have the confidence to keep going. What do you mean, though? Opposed to what? Dribble and lose it and then don't have the confidence? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see.
To attack the defender again. That was, I think, the most endearing quality about him, really. He moves the ball a lot. but also he can make things happen. He's quite direct. I think maybe he can learn how to lay the ball off and spot the right pass instead of going himself, but that's a maturity thing, I think. There's a lot of good qualities in him. He can, if you're looking for a player to use on a counter attack, I think he can be a really good weapon there. And I think what Chelsea do have is a lot of good options in terms of wingers that they have with lots of different qualities. Or the players out wide, they have lots of different qualities. So maybe he can become that in the Chelsea system. I don't know. Against like line defenses, those defenses that Chelsea need to break down, the tough ones, I think he needs to develop a little bit. But if he's got space to run into, if he's 1v1 with the defender, he will sometimes lose the ball. But
1v1 losing the ball. You gotta lose the ball when you get double teamed. When that second man come to help, not 1v1, bro.
We'll keep going. He will absolutely keep going. And if he's empowered to do that, and if he's given a bit of structure by the likes of Maresca and the coaching staff, and a bit of grounding with discipline as well, I think he can. Like, this is why I wanted United to hold out for more money than they actually got for him, because there's a really good player in there. And as much as United fans will say bad things about him, which some of those may be warranted, there's a good player in there. He just hasn't had the foundation and the cultural base at the football club for him to be able to flourish. It was only a couple of years ago we saw Garnacho and Kobe Mainoo getting their arm around him from Eric Ten Hag after they won the FA Cup and both scored in that final against City. So there's a player in there, absolutely, and he's still very, very young. And he will be frustrating, I think, for Chelsea fans to watch at times. I think with the amount of players that you do have in those positions, if he doesn't get his chance to impress in 45 minutes, I don't know how he will take that, if he's subbed off or whatever. But I think in terms of the skills that he's got, I think he's maybe a player that Chelsea don't have that could add something to the squad.
One of the things that kind of...
He said, according to he's maybe a player Chelsea don't have. What does he bring that we don't have? I don't know. I think he just threw that out there. I don't think he meant that. I don't think he thought that through. The only thing about Garnacho is he make under 100K a week. I don't know, man.
I was very cynical about this at the start when it was being linked. I'd seen the negativity. Speaking to Man United fans I knew personally, and just whether it was via you or others, who'd been quite negative. And just even when I'd watched Garnacho, I'd been seriously underwhelmed. I actually remember him against Chelsea, not in May. I think it was the Old Trafford game, and he was atrocious. I mean, he was giving the ball away. It's a terrible decision making. I'm thinking that's a bad player, or at least I was thinking that's an awful performance. And I was very cynical about it. And then as the link started to grow, people started to look at some of his data. And I think the thing that swung me in a positive for Garnacho was that the data was kind of not too good, but too promising to completely ignore.
The data. Fuck what I watch. He said he watched him. That's what he said. I watched him and I thought, yeah, he's not good enough. And then I thought, oh, the data. What? I don't give a fuck about no data. I know what I'm watching a player that's not good enough. What data could he have possibly seen that made him go, all right, he's good enough now? But that's what I'm saying. I'll let him. I hope he says what specific data made him change his mind.
In the idea of kind of, it's like the Moneyball approach of, and I'm not saying that Chelsea have spent low. Chelsea don't really spend low on players, but the Moneyball approach of, okay, maybe there's something broken about this player, but I think the phrase "gets on base" is kind of the one I would use about Garnacho. He's someone who, in the age range of players in the top leagues for a team that have been as bad as Man United, especially last season, I mean, you kind of have to look at those numbers and go, there's something there if you can allow it to grow, allow it to mature. And that's why I think it's a smart punt by Chelsea. And it isn't just, they've just gone out to buy another player. Or if maybe they have, but it's like maybe they've stumbled upon a really good player here or a talented one. I mean, is there some fear from you as a Man United fan that this could very quickly look bad? Because it's not McTominay going to Napoli. It's someone who directly is competing against you in the Premier League.
So I think it's difficult from a United perspective. There's a couple of things you have to weigh up. Like, he's a really good, really talented player who I think is going to want to make a point against United. If he plays them in a couple of weeks, gets off the bench, and he contributes to a goal, scores a goal or whatever.
Not only did he say Moneyball, he said Garnacho is somebody who gets on base. If Garnacho was a baseball player, he would not be somebody who gets on base. He wouldn't hit for high percentage. I don't know what son of Chelsea talking about. Garnacho would not be somebody who gets on base. Somebody who gets on base got a high batting average or a high OBS. Garnacho would not be somebody who, if you converted to baseball, will be somebody that got a high OBS. No, he's not. Hell no. OBS is literally about being consistent. You're consistently getting on base.
Absolutely love that moment. You absolutely will. But the bigger picture for United really is that they corrected their own team. The noise is going to be generated from the media. Like, he can even be average for Chelsea, and I'm still sure in 6 months' time there will be people turning around going, "Oh, we shouldn't have done that," even if he's average. You know, that's just the way that the narrative goes around. I think United really need to get out of this, and I try and do that on the pod as well. I try and like detach a bit from the narrative and see what's swirling around. This debate's like every day. I think it's to the point of tedium. I'm so bored of it, incredibly bored of it. The bigger picture for United really is they need to figure out what the hell's going wrong in the football club and fix it. Garnacho is a result. Garnacho sale is a result of that, and the way that they're moving towards actually remedying it. There's other players that have been the case as well in terms of leaving. I have no doubt there will be a point in time over the next 2 years where people will look at this and go, United shouldn't have sold him. Whether that's because Chelsea signed him for 60 million quid, or because he does really well for Chelsea, or even if he does relatively average for Chelsea or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how well he's going to do, how he'll fit into that team or whatever, but it's just revisionism. That's all it is. The important thing from my side is United start performing on the pitch, and I think this was the reason why this sale was made, is to go about doing that over the next year or so.
It's one that I've had about a couple of the recent Chelsea to Arsenal moves, where I think it's one that can work out for both clubs, where like Kai Havertz, scored a couple of goals against Chelsea in a really bad night for Chelsea, but there's no part of me that regrets Kai Havertz leaving Chelsea. There's literally none. Like, I don't wish to watch him play for Chelsea again. And I'm not saying he's a rubbish player, but I look at what Cole Palmer has been for Chelsea. I even look at what Nicholas Jackson was for a period, and what Joao Pedro could be now moving forward.
Yeah, Phoenix, you know what I mean. I'm high, nigga. I'm off of work. I'm done. I'm high.
And I go
on base percentage.
Yes, it's about as you do as a football supporter, you have to just look forward. You get new players, you then support those players, and those players will eventually leave, and you'll get new ones, and that's the cycle of football. But I do agree with you that as someone who has seen, especially Havertz, because I think you get people who go, you try and dismiss that he was ever bad for Chelsea, and it's like, I watch this guy week in, week out, and I like you, right? You watch your players week in, week out, and that I think that's the concern from Chelsea fans about Garnacho, is especially the character side. I mean, it's one point that you brought up there about. My concern is that I think that he walks into an environment where he does have that kind of competitive edge in that position, especially with Jamie Kittin's also arriving this summer. So he's got another player that's just arrived. Tyreek George has actually just stayed. So I don't know how much football he'll get, but there is a competitive edge at Chelsea. And it's a squad that has just won the Club World Cup. It's a squad that has been more successful in recent months. So he's not walking into an environment where he is deemed a saviour figure. Like, you're not the superstar. You have to earn and there's already doubt around him. Do you have, is that where the valid concern from Chelsea fans is, that from a character point of view, when what a spreadsheet cannot tell you is how a player responds to not being picked, to adversity?
Yeah, so that's why they did it. Hold on, I'll be right back, people. It's time for me to break my fast. I gotta get some. Don't go nowhere. I'm going anywhere. All right, I'm back. My stomach is hurting. My stomach is hurting, bro. I have to eat something. Okay.
A few things not going his way. Is that where that concern is valid from Chelsea fans?
I suppose you can have that concern, but I don't know. It's a different environment, really. I think he works really hard. I think that the issue that we've had recently with him at United was he'd already ascended. As I said earlier, he'd already ascended to that point where he was a regular first team player because he played so much under Ten Hag. Like, he was not first name on the team sheet, but like an automatic pick in the team, given how much belief the old coach had in it. And losing that status in that team for a young player can show up in different ways. And I think some of the stuff that he's done and some of the stuff that he said during his time at United, I haven't loved. But at the same time, if you look at him when he was working hard to get into the team, he worked really hard, got his head down, and made that place his own for a while because he was doing things that other players weren't doing. So I think he has that in him. It's about how he wants to kind of approach this move. Maybe it's about what Chelsea told him. You know, if they told him, hey, there's no automatic picks here, you got to earn your place. He's coming into a new environment. He's still young. Like I'm sure that he knows, like, given everything that happened to him at United, that if he tries and pulls some of the stuff that he pulled at United over the next few months, it's not going to wash, is it? So I think it could go one of two ways. I don't want to like bottle the question or whatever, but the fact that he worked really hard to get into the first team in the first place at United, I think maybe it's just a reset to that one at this point in his career.
It's also the fact that there have been examples quite recently of players going out of that United bubble and suddenly finding new life and new energy. I mean, Anthony looked like a pretty useless player at Man United, and I mean, thank God he looked more like a Man United player when he played us in the Conference League final. But for the majority of the time at Real Betis, he looked like he was finding his mojo again, and you could see why at least at one point he was valued quite high by Man United. And you know, McTominay I think is the kind of the most obvious one, right? Because a guy that was kind of mocked a lot of the time and derided at Man United, weekly. And I always thought about him. He loved scoring against Chelsea, and he always just felt like a bit of a menace. Like he would pop up with really important goals as a central midfielder. I mean, that's not a knack that's pretty wide in the modern game, isn't it? They've kind of gone out of fashion goal scoring midfield.
All right, let's hear that. Let's hear that. That wasn't all that triggering. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't all that bad. So, you got a lot of people trying to yo, Skynight, big up Skynight. Could you watch on the super chat? Could you watch the football meta breakdown of Chelsea setup next? They show how we play three at the back and how we overcome our lack of breakdown of loadout. Football meta. Okay. Let's see what that is. Hold on, this one. Hold on. You talking about this right here, Skynight? This one? Okay. I'm gonna start it right now.
Chelsea all of a sudden seem to have found a way to quickly expose any defensive line, and it's all down to the 3-1-3-3 formation. This system used by Maresca is pulling defenses apart, leaving opposition players outnumbered and quietly giving Chelsea's most dangerous attackers more time and space to create. So is this the right system that can take Chelsea back into the title race? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Football Meta. Enzo Maresca has spearheaded both a tactical and psychological revolution at Chelsea over the past few months, transforming a team that would struggle to put a few consecutive results together into literal world champions, moving the ball with purpose and control. So the board has decided to back the manager the only way they know how, by spending ludicrous amounts of money on new players. But this time there's already a well-drilled system in place for them to build on. Again, these are just pre-season friendlies and there's still everything to play for in the upcoming season, and there's nothing like the Premier League. But a lot of these positive changes were seen at the end of the previous season. In fact, last year, Maresca experimented with a lot of different shapes and patterns in possession. But generally speaking, the most used setup was a 3-2-5, with one of the two fullbacks inverting as the double pivot or even seen as an inside forward. After a long period of difficulty where Chelsea struggled to string positive results together, this setup started to work more effectively towards the end of the season, mostly thanks to players like Cucurella adopting a more fluid role and Caicedo being able to work as the single holding midfielder, allowing Chelsea to get more players forward in attack. But one of the more subtle changes also came down to where Chelsea wanted to keep possession. In fact, during a rough spell of the season, Chelsea could not break down low blocks any way they tried. They would push further and further up the pitch and suffocate the opponent deep in their half. But this constant circulation of possession meant there was little space for their dangerous players to create meaningful chances. And players like Cole Palmer were dropping deeper and deeper to get on the ball and were struggling to have a substantial impact.
Very true.
So the big change in their performances happened gradually. Firstly, the shape morphed into more of what we are seeing now, which is a 3-1-3-3 shape, with a more fluid use of Cucurella on the left and Palmer adopting a more central role or in the right half space. But the second major change was where Chelsea would circulate possession, and were now not reliant on holding the ball in these areas, but were much more patient circulating the ball from a deeper position. This meant the opposition had their defensive line higher up the pitch. There was more space in midfield for the players to get on the ball, and when they did break forward, chances were being created quickly before the opposition's defense could set up. Obviously, this system wasn't instantly perfect, and Chelsea were caught out at times when playing out from the back. But generally speaking, the impact it had on their attacking output was worth the risk, and it is now the foundation of the current Chelsea setup we see going into the new Premier League season. When you look at Chelsea's 3-1-3-3 under Maresca, the first thing you notice is the stability at the base. The back three and the single pivot of Caicedo hold everything together so the attack can flow. That stability is exactly what I've got now in my workspace thanks to the FlexiSpot E7 Plus standing. E7 Plus lets you save 4. It fits a wide C7 over quickly to my extremely long warriors in honor of this, because while they do achieve this shape further up the pitch, this isn't how they start when the goalkeeper is in possession. When playing out from the back, the centre-backs split wide and Cucurella will invert next to Caicedo, forming a double pivot.
Yes, sir.
On top, the wingers pin the fullbacks, and in the centre, two players, likely to be Palmer and João Pedro or Delap, will start in close proximity. This direct pass through the middle is something Sanchez looks for quite frequently. We saw it in the World Cup final and in their pre-season friendlies as well. And it quickly allows Chelsea to push forward. We can see this initial build-up shape in this clip here, with Chalobah moving out wide as the left back and Cucurella inverting into the centre. This gives the goalkeeper time to play this pass right through the centre, where Chelsea have two players and can quickly shift it out wide. But more often than not, this group of 5 or 6 players will slowly move up the pitch by circulating the ball, and if they're pressed, it frees the player further up the pitch. Take, for example, this clip here. As they rotate to the left flank, Cucurella moves out wide and is tracked by the defender, freeing a central channel into Palmer, who can then switch play to the opposite flank into Esteval. Because of this specific danger, most of the time the opposition will concede some space, and Chelsea can move into their 3-1-3-3 shape. Cucurella forms the line of 3 with Palmer and Enzo Fernandez, while the front 3 are on the defensive line and as wide as possible. From here, Chelsea is still extremely patient in possession. Play rotates from side to side, and the 2 wide midfielders move into these spaces to receive the ball. If not pressed, they can pass out wide and attack the half space. Or if they are pressed, then this can create even more danger for the opponent. Take this move against Bayer Leverkusen. Chelsea are patient in circulating possession, and the right winger nearly always finds himself in a 2v1 against Cucurella and Chalobah. If this rotation out wide is closed down too quickly, then it frees up this dangerous central channel that is the secret to the vast majority of Chelsea's attacks that we can see. For example, on the opposite flank, in this move, we can see the exact same pattern. Bayer Leverkusen push forward and fall for the trap. They shift further out wide on the left, and it frees up a central pass into Palmer, who's then fouled in a dangerous position. This constant circulation around the back ensures that Chelsea can progress in lots of different ways. And once the player receives the ball between the lines, the front three are in the perfect position to attack forward. But what's more interesting is how the players will rotate between themselves as well. And while the shape will nearly always be the same, sometimes Palmer will drop deep to pick up the ball. Or he'll swap places with Cucurella, and it keeps the opponents having to consistently change who they need to mark. It means these central passes can come at any moment, either directly through the middle or going round the press. But at one point or another, Chelsea will look to cut right through the heart of the opponent. One great example of this central progression can be seen with Estevao in the second half, as he moved to a more central position and linked up play with Santos. From here, we can see that as play moves out wide, there are instantly three players ready to attack the box. In the final third, this is where the true danger of this system can be seen. And as play shifts out wide, these three players are ready to attack the box. The winger has space to cut inside because of this run into the half space that drags away a defender. And the rest of the players can quickly flood the back post to meet any crosses into the box. This was perfectly evident in the goal that made it 2-0 against AC Milan, with Chelsea breaking forward quickly, and as Neto cuts onto his left foot, there are 5 players attacking the box, and with Reece James overlapping on the right flank. With all these players attacking forward, Chelsea create constant overloads in dangerous areas, making it incredibly difficult for opponents to defend against their fluid and quick movement. However, this system also requires excellent tactical discipline and a high work rate, especially in transitional moments. Defensively, the back three and the pivot need to be alert to counterpress quickly when possession is lost to avoid being exposed. And there were occasions in their preseason friendly against 10-man AC Milan where they were able to cut right through the middle of midfield. So this is something that Chelsea definitely need to look out for in the upcoming season. So could this be the system that pushes Chelsea back into the title race? The early signs of these preseason friendlies are promising. There's a blend of stability at the back, patient build-up, and explosive attacking power with a lot of new exciting young players. What remains to be seen is if Maresca can sustain this for the whole season. And when Chelsea inevitably face their dreaded low block, will the players be able to adapt quicker than they did in certain situations last season?
We'll see.
Leave your thoughts in the comments down below.
We shall see. We shall see. Yo, this guy's good. It shows you that he watches everything. Like, he watches the game. He's good. He's good. That boy good. That boy good. I tell you, that boy good. That boy good. That boy good. The $100 million Cam Chelsea got for free. Is this person trying to be funny? Yeah. He talking about booty meaty. He's talking about booty meaty. I'm not even watching that shit. I refuse. He called booty meaty a $100 million Cam. Y'all don't even know how that triggered me. Why do you? I don't give a fuck about getting in no under 22s. Why do you care? I don't care what he. So if he was there scoring hat tricks, would you be like, okay, he's gonna come score a hat trick for Chelsea? Like, who cares, bro? It's nothing wrong with watching your players, but I guess you saying you concerned. I'm not. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned, bro. Just scouring, people. I'm just scouring. Give me 1 second. I'm just amazed that all of these people that did like the tactical breakdowns of it's crazy. Of Garnacho. I'm blown away by that. You already talking silly about buying Olise. How you gonna buy Olise? How you gonna do that? I would love to know how you're gonna do that. How you gonna buy Olise, fam? Huh? Explain to us how you gonna buy Olise. Yeah, I know you typed that already. How much you gonna spend on Olise? No, let's entertain this thought. How much did you spend on Olise? Julian. He has a release clause of 90 million euros. I doubt it. I doubt it. Kai, what's up, bro? Kai, what's up? I'm just here watching these guys telling me why Garnacho is going to be good at Chelsea. I watched one of the videos, and I've actually found another one. This one's too long. Pause. Let me find a shorter one. These people trying to explain why Garnacho is going to work at Chelsea. Like, I don't know, man. It sounds like...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Overlap Breakdown channel.
Nah, this sounds like some shit that'll get me stricken.
Right, hello everybody, Adam Leary for you from ACFC, and the clock on both the transfer window and indeed your life is now deafening in its ticking, so it's time to look at what would be the second weirdest transfer of this window, if it happens. Alejandro Garnacho going to Chelsea, who, and this has rumbled on all summer, are positively gagging for him for some reason. 144 games for Man United at 21 years old is really impressive, but 26 goals in that time is less so, and that is before you even consider the, how do I put it, perceived issues with...
So this guy seems to be coming with a fair assessment. I like this guy already. He's not coming here with the with the whole hum, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He coming here talking that shit.
Both his attitude and maturity and the state of that Barnet. So welcome to a video that I am unofficially dubbing, What Do Chelsea See Here That I Don't? All right, so before we start here, two quick things I must confess to you. First of all, I will attempt to remain partial throughout this video. However, I do find him a bit scary to look at. Like a haunted doll in a slasher film. I'm genuinely worried I'm going to wake up one night and there'll be a little, like, 2-foot version of him standing in the door.
Them dead, them dead, them dead, them dead, them dead.
Yeah. What? Yo. Why is he doing Garnacho like this? I gotta run that back. Hold up. Who is this guy? Hold up. Adam Cleary. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Okay, yeah. I have seen his stuff before. Oh my gosh. It's fucking hilarious.
Scary to look at. Like a haunted doll in a slasher film. I'm genuinely worried I'm going to wake up one night and there'll be a little, like, 2-foot version of him standing in the doorway holding the claw hammer, and I don't like that.
Alejandro
Garnacho. And secondly, this one's quite cool. This video is being produced in partnership with our good friends at FOTMob, which is absolutely class. Haven't yet had replay. Do Chelsea want Alejandro Garnacho? Well, it's very early days this season. We've only played 2 games at the time of me recording this, but so far, this is every player they've used in every single position in their 4-2-3-1.
Yes,
So it's pretty much 2 players for every single position, except they haven't yet had cause to change the goalkeeper.
Yes, we
Although
have.
some people might argue, well, the bloody well should have done. And
Yes, we have. Yeah, I like this guy. Is this guy a Chelsea fan? Or is he just a football fan? Is it? I gotta subscribe. Let me subscribe right now. Right fucking now. Subscribe. Click like. Big up this guy. He's already, because he's yeah, let's go.
Romeo Lavia is injured. He would probably be in the same place as Caicedo. Now, it's a deep squad, isn't it? I do think it could probably use a real top-level centre-back just to make everybody here's lives that little bit easier. But if you were looking to add someone to it, you could make the argument that there is a vacancy here. And the reason for that, pretty straightforward, is these are the shooting stats via our pals at FOTMob for the 2 players that have thus far ended up on the left-hand side. First, Jamie Gittins last season in the Bundesliga, and these are pretty good. I think he's getting his shots away, he's getting a lot of them on target, and 12 goals in all competitions, I think, is really, really good. But the thing about when things were different is that it is when things were different.
You have got Barcelona at home in one of your games.
Have we?
Yes.
Game.
And they're drawing all of them, yeah. They're drawing all the pot 1 teams, and you've got Barca at you've got Barca at Amsterdam.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So if Gittins is, as we assume, here to be plan A, then what he'll actually be doing is going onto the touchline, where he is also really, really good. He's great at isolating a fullback. He can stretch your opposition defenses. He can go around them and cross with his left foot. And crucially, he leaves this channel open in case Fernandez wants to push up into it. He's very good at that. Or whoever's playing number 10, say it's João Pedro, wants to float across into it. Therefore, Gittins' primary role in this team is not to be a direct goal threat. And even if he was, he's sort of on the wrong foot to be effective doing it. However, over here is Pedro Neto.
Now, look, despite being left-footed, he's played more games in his career on that left-hand side.
Or rather, he had until last season. That was the first time in his career that a manager has used him on the right more than he has used him on the left. So it's
So all these niggas that be arguing with me about Neto and what position he plays. Did y'all hear that stat? Neto is the definition of a winger that can play both wings equally and at the same level. He's the definition of it. Definition of it. Definition of it.
that Maresca has no qualms about playing him on the left-hand side, but he does see him as a right-handed side player first and foremost.
Now, because, like Gittins, despite playing on the opposite side of their strong foot, where naturally players would cut in, they are instructed to hug the touchline and stay wide.
He can leave gaps for Notting Hill Carnival regular. Yeah, we all saw that photo. Cole Palmer to play in his David position.
That was Cole Palmer. That was his height. Yo. That was his Cole Palmer. What the fuck? Yo, what is wrong with this kid? Yo, what is wrong with this kid? Yo, this was his hideout. Palmer's wilding.
Yeah, we all saw that photo. Cole Palmer to play in his David position. It's the same thing on both sides. So in Chelsea's strongest 11, which let's remember is never actually a real thing.
You've got two players that, despite this, are instructed.
Palmer was out there pelting waist. I fucking pelting waist, am I? Oh, God. I pelting shit. Oh, God, Patsy. Oh, God.
To stay wide and hug the left and right touchline.
And leave room for a Pedro, for a Fernandez, for a Palmer, whoever, to play in these channels. Then naturally on the right side, it allows you to do that. So where then does Alejandro Garnacho fit into all of this? Well, the other options Maresca has used on these sides have been, as discussed,
the left-footed Pedro Neto
on the left, but also the left-footed Estevao on the right. And they wound up with this exact combination against West Ham after Palmer dropped out with the injury. And you can see how that works so well in the Neto goal. Like you can see here, he's giving no thought whatsoever to dragging Wan-Bissaka out into the wide area to stretch the defence. In his mind here, he is a forward and he gets in at the back post and scores. But then you look at Estevao for the Fernandez goal and you see that even better. That you go and run that thing all the way back to when Delap holds the ball, a right-footed forward would go this way around him, try and beat his man and hang something up to the back post. But Estevao, on that side and on that foot, actually completely changes direction to get his run inside the lap and drive a goal. And rather than getting them a big hung up cross to somewhat to stick their bean on, that gets them a tap in. So basically, just to recap here, make it 1,000 times more simple than I have been doing, Maresca clearly wants two options on each side, primarily to stretch out defences to allow 2 10s to support the centre forward. But as an alternative option to that, he wants players on their wrong foot, so a left on the right and a right on the left, who will themselves play closer to the centre forward to allow for overlapping runs from the fullback. So both ways, you end up with 5 across the front and then combinations of 2 and 3 here, but you get different players doing different things. And what, to my dear friends, is Alejandro Garnacho? Well, he is, I'll give it to him, one of the best players in the Premier League in the category of right-footed, left-sided players. The guy absolutely loves to attack the goal, and you stack his shooting numbers up against the other lads on that side. And even last season, when he felt like such a bad fit for everything Amorim was trying to do, he's still getting really high volume of shots away. And if you go back to the season before, when he was in a more suitable system, he's one of the league's leading players.
Yeah, he got 84 shots, but only 30 on target. Let's see what he's talking.
Getting touches in the box and winning penalties. So letting him come off the flank and get a goal, there are genuinely few better. Like, these are his shot maps across the last 2 seasons. And do you know what? You're right. They do look absolutely lovely. That's FOTMOP, in case you're wondering. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. And the concentration of efforts in this inside left channel is really something. But you stack that up next to his chance creation numbers, and you'll see he's not really offering you much else or an intelligent system player. But if you allow him into this space here where he's coming off that flank and there's somebody...
Oh, my gosh. What is this? What is this? Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is this? What do we have here? Why are you showing me this? Why did my club buy you? Oh my goodness.
My lord, this is treason. And my lord, I want them to be locked up without no option for bail.
Oh my gosh. Yo, so when the sports directors look at this, what does this tell them? That's the best lines. Yo, bruh, what the fuck? Look at them numbers, yo. Everything is, yo, it's either mediocre to bad. Everything is mediocre to bad. Nothing is even like decent. Average is decent. Everything is mediocre to bad. Look at that shit. Holy shit. My Lord. Garnacho, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for this guy to come here and cook. I'm not saying it can't happen, but holy shit. They like to throw out metrics and stats and numbers. I didn't know what this guy was going to talk about. I just said, let me pick one that wasn't too long. That other one was 24 minutes. This one was 12 minutes. That's why I wanted to watch this one. This is crazy. He's been talking good about him, but he's being fair. He's being fair.
Numbers, and you'll see he's not really offering you much else or an intelligent system player. But if you allow him into this space here when he's coming off that flank and there's somebody overlapping with him, like, I don't personally think there's a lot to Garnacho's game, but it's clear that the things he does really well. And more importantly, those are things that would appear to be of interest to Chelsea. I could see them using him quite well. So yeah, you go back to that Chelsea squad building and you add Garnacho to it, and I do think it gives you really nice symmetry across both sides. You've got two players who can do two different things in those two different positions. However, there is a fairly major downside, in my opinion, to getting him. Now, these are the two goals that Garnacho scored against Chelsea for Man United. You may well remember them. And in both of them, he comes off that left flank to attack the goal directly, just like we've been saying. Now, the impressive thing here is the drive and the determination he has to make these chances exist purely out of how much he wants to score them. Which doesn't feel like great English, but you get what I mean. Like 2 goals, more or less out of nothing, purely because he's been direct in quite an open game. That is what Chelsea are buying him for, and hands up, he's very good at that. But they also conceded that night from this position. Garnacho is sat on Palmer, clearly an instruction, and he jumps from him to Gusto. Now, Dalot does the right thing here. When Garnacho moves, he steps up, he nicks the ball back, and it looks like Man United can get a breakaway here. They might be on a score. Like, look, Garnacho, he smells an opportunity here, and he is off like a rat up a drain pipe. But then Man United actually messed the pass up and give it back. And now you have got to get back onto Gusto. You can't let him just run into that space. And, never mind. Chelsea have messed it up as well. No harm, no foul. So, yeah, that Chelsea attack's dead now. So if you're Garnacho, you can just sort of stand here and do nothing if you really want to. Which is exactly what he does. And he goes from having his hands physically on Gusto to 3 seconds later being that far away from him. And if you're wondering when this goes in, because a lot has to happen and there's other players involved, is that really his fault? Well, Dalot not only shoots him daggers when he realizes he hasn't tracked back. You see him doing that here. But as soon as the ball ends up at the back of the net, he turns to him, and he does this. This is a player who will physically throw his face into boots and fists to try himself to get a goal, but thinks tracking back And defending is for nerds and wants no part of
He doesn't even do the work to get back. How is this a Maresca signing, bro? How is he going to play over Neto? How? He's not. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble. My Lord.
it. Like these are his defensive numbers last season. And yes, you're right. FOTMob again. Love that for them. And they probably look exactly the same as if I won a competition and got to play 10 Premier League games.
I'm done. I've seen enough. I have seen enough. That's his defensive numbers. That is his defensive numbers, bro. Yo, that is his defensive numbers, yo.
I'm like, yo, damn.
Don't tell me he fits the system, bro. Just tell me. Wow, I can't believe this. Like I said, man, only thing I can hope is that he gonna somehow turn it around. Because right now, bro, I have no faith in that at all, bro. What is this? Custom. That's all upcoming. There, save it there. Yeah, man. That was bananas. That was bananas in pajamas. That's what that was. But we've been live almost an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm gonna have a few guests this week. I can't tell y'all who yet. I haven't set the date. A couple people y'all didn't expect. We're gonna have some Chelsea talk with a couple people. Excuse me, that y'all didn't expect. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get something to eat. I done got y'all set up, redirected over to Egal. I don't know, just put Jimmy Spliff Raid, I guess. You know what I mean? Show him some love. Hit that like button. Big up everybody, man.
Question that I asked.
It's time to go!